Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just, we shall get started. So good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to kind of wrap up this last, well, not this last project, but I want to wrap up the project for the product photography poster. So if you remember, for those of you that were either here or watched the video from what I did on Tuesday, I already have some products. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And like I said, don't forget, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them as we kind of go along here. Just, give me a shout and I will be happy to do that for you. Let me just set up my screen here. Share. And this screen here. Go ahead, share. And there's that. Okay. So I'll do participants. I think I'll be used to this by now. Okay. You know what? And then I'll open up the chat. So there's the chat. Okay. So for those of you that just are jumping in, I did a product shoot. Okay. And on Tuesday. So my product was a pair of Nike sneakers that I was fortunate to have laying around, brand new. So I was able to do some stuff. Hopefully all of you have your product picked out, have a really good idea of what you're going to do. As I said, I highly recommend that you have a concept and a theme before you start shooting, because your concept and your theme are going to kind of dictate, how your product should be shot. I, of course, just went and shot it. I like the sneakers, they're Air Jordan. So obviously my theme is going to be some kind of Air Jordan. And I'm going to make something up. So as you can see, I have these pictures here that I took of the Air Jordans, some different angles and stuff like that. So what I'll probably do is maybe I'll use two of them. Okay. So if you go to the web page, you go to marking period 4 to product poster, the very first thing you're going to see at the bottom are the instructions on what you need to do this correctly. Okay. And they're always in a colored box. So right here, this purple box, everything you need is right here. So really the one size you need is 12 by 18 at 150 DPI. DPI means dots per inch, or the quality when you go to print it out. Okay. So I'm going to go in to Photoshop and I'm going to create a brand new document that's going to be those dimensions. Okay. So I'm going to go create new. And obviously that size does not seem to be in here. There, that one's close, but it's not the same. So all you have to do over here in the preset, and I'll use mine. So what you should do is use your initials and then call product poster. So my initials are FM, product poster. Okay. So you can just change it here. So I want it to be 12 by 18. I want it to be a tall poster at 150, because the quality doesn't need to be, spectacular, because we're not even printing it. So here we go, white background, blah, blah, blah. So I created my new document, should pop up. Now here's the important thing. Just because I created this document does not mean I saved it yet. So I actually want to hit File, Save As. And I'm just going to save it to my desktop as, and I did create a folder called Studio Photo Tutorial. So I'm going to save it in there. But you as students should have a folder called Product Poster, and your pictures should be in there, as well as this document, so you can keep everything. Every project should have its own folder. So I'm going to hit Save, high quality. I'm going to hit OK. So the first thing I want to do is I want to say to myself, well, what images am I going to use? Actually, let's jump a little bit behind here and say, I want to find Air Jordan logo, because obviously they're a pair of Air Jordans. So I'm going to go in and search. So I'll go to images, and don't forget, you want to pick tools and you want to go large, because you want a nice high quality image. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here. Well, the Michael Jordan colors are black and red. So maybe I want to find something. I really like this. So I'm gonna right click on that, save the image. Where's it gonna go? It's going to go into that folder that I talked about, okay, on my desktop. Right down here. Where is it? Photo tutorial studio. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And I like, let's see, because as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff in here. But let's just go with something simple. I'm going to take this one because I can always change it. So I'm going to go save as. I'm going to do the same exact thing. Just call it Jordan logo. And I'm going to save that too. So cool. So now I got some Air Jordan stuff. And I could even find an image, right? I could just say Michael Jordan. And I'm just kicking some ideas around right now. But obviously, I want to have one of him playing basketball. Like, that's a great one. Or there's a good one. Okay, there's Michael Jordan. I'm going to save that image. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Okay, so now I have all my resources. You know, does that make sense? Because really, you take your photos, you pull your logos, you pull your images, then you start to create. You don't want to just open up a poster, a blank document, and then just start searching and finding and grabbing and putting, because then it's gonna look like it's all pasted together and there's no rhyme or reason to it. So, you know, do this stuff in advance. Obviously, I haven't because I'm just kind of going off the cuff right now, but that's okay. I've done posters before, so it's really not hard for me to try and figure something out. So let's say I'm going to pick, here's, let me see if this worked. All right. Hold on one sec. Okay. So I want this one, and let's say this one. Okay. So I'm going to drag all these into Photoshop. So they should all open up at the same time. Okay. So now I have all this stuff. And if you look, here's all my tabs with everything. So I have all the stuff that I need to make my my final presentation. So of course, I'm going to go in and make adjustments and see if there's anything that needs to be corrected. Is it too light? Is it too dark? For the most part, these look pretty good. I spent some time. Actually, I would maybe use this brighten tool and brighten this up a little bit. Okay. And try and make that look a little bit better. Actually, let's go to midtones. There we go. Okay. So now I just want to trace these out. And for now, I'm just going to use the magic wand tool. It's the easy. Actually, no, I'm not. So I want to introduce you something that you're going to be using next year more. I'm just going to show you because it's not really complicated, but it takes some getting used to. It's called the pen tool. And the pen tool gives you the ability to draw a path and trace it out. Okay. And it does not take a lot of time once you master it. It's so much better than using the magic wand tool because it doesn't always grab everything you want. When you sit here and trace these things out with your pen tool, you're actually defining what you do. Now, here's the cool part. Watch, I can go back to here and click on it, and I can still go in and infinitely readjust whatever I want to do. I can delete the points, I can add to them, okay? And then I can just pick up where I left off, and I can keep tracing it out, okay? Now, you always want to zoom in, as you can see what I'm doing here, because you don't want to overlap any area. And I'm just slowly starting to trace this out. I want it to look good. I'm just going to kind of speed it up a little bit right now, just for the interest of time, and kind of wrap this up. But once you get used to this tool, it's like your best friend in the whole world because it looks so realistic when you trace stuff out. And the quality is so much better than, say, that magic wand. Then you're using the erase, you know, if you use the magic wand, then you got to use the eraser tool. then you got to clean it up a little bit. Whoops. And then you have to, eventually fix all that stuff. Okay. But when you draw it like this, you're defining what looks good and what doesn't. Okay. So I'm almost done. I'm in the home stretch. And I am basically getting all the stuff put together for you. So the important thing to remember too is you have to finish where you start. So that's where I started. So when I zoom out, you can see this cool path. And the beauty of that is you can save this path forever. So if you open the file up a year later and you want to turn it back on, you can. You go like this, you click on it, and now it's a path. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it into my poster. So the picture's big, no big deal. Shrink it down, and we can kind of put this here. Okay. And that's, for now, I'm just going to loosely start putting things. Hey, Alex, how you doing? So I am loosely just starting to put things together, and that's okay. I also just realized I forgot I need the Nike logo. So I'm going to go in real quick, find that Nike logo. I like this one. So I don't like that one. I like this one. So I'm going to save this one to my folder, the studio, photo studio tutorial. And now I'm going to jump on back into Photoshop, and I'm going to kind of keep moving on. So the next thing, so that's done. I'm going to close that. I'm going to move on to the next one. I like this shoe here. So we can quickly, also, I'm going to go super quick on this and trace this one out. And then hopefully it won't look too bad. But as I said, I'm not doing the best job I've ever done in my entire life, because we would be here all day. But it is really super important that you really try and use the best tool for the job. If you're lucky enough to work for Nike, they're going to expect the very best. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. So they don't want you, they don't want you cutting corners on stuff, right? So you got to pick the tool that's going to make things look like the best. Okay. And then once again, I mentioned it before, you have to finish your path where you start, and it's right here. See how the circle, and then you click, and then it's done. Same thing, turn it on. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it here. Okay, once again, giant shoe, because I have a really good quality studio camera. So this kind of does a nice job of showing all three shoes, right? So there's kind of a neat little design principle going on here. I don't know. I might keep it, I might not. It seems like there's a lot of stuff going on here right now. Maybe I can save it, maybe not. Maybe I could take this, right, and lighten it. That looks pretty cool, right? So it brings more attention to the shoe in the front, but it also shows you what's going on in the background. I'm going to tilt that a little bit. Now here's something cool too you can do. Has anybody got questions at this point? I'm not jumping too far ahead. All right.
Not good.
Cool. So there's some really cool things you can do here. When you create a layer like that, is you can actually start to do special effects. Okay, so I'm going to go there. See right here where it says FX? You can actually do a shadow. So I can make this look real, and I can adjust it. I can turn it, see? And I can change the opacity. I can make it smaller. And really start to make that look interesting. And just put a little bit of a shadow there, make it a little bit darker. Boom. So now I have a drop shadow. So that's pretty cool. Makes it look 3D, makes it look realistic, looks like it's sitting there. It's not perfect, but once again, we're just trying to, give you a quick little idea. Okay. So maybe now I want to start playing with my fonts. My color scheme is what? For Michael Jordan's red and black. So I'm going to type in Air Jordan. And let's say it's the 35th anniversary. Why not? So I picked a really cool font. I preloaded it earlier and it looks like a high school or a college font, you know what I mean? And it's in red. You don't want to pick, for example, let's say I want to pick Air Jordan and I pick a font that may not necessarily, let's make it bigger so you can see. So you don't want to use chalkboard or, weird type like this. You want to be able to make sure it's appropriate for what you're doing. You don't want it to look like it's a magic marker or, pink skinny is the name of this font or cursive. So you want to find a font, this is even cool, like a graffiti type font, but you got to make sure it's legible so your clients can see it too. It's not just you being able to see it, it's also your clients. So that's a pretty cool font right there too. So over time, you can actually start to collect really cool font or typefaces, you would also call it too. Okay. So moving on, I'll close this. Then I'm going to go to this cool Air Jordan picture. I'm just going to grab the whole thing and see what happens. Okay. And I'm going to paste it here. Now, don't forget, if you look over here in your layers, I can drag this down and go to put it in the background. Okay. And I'll go big with it. But as you can see, it's blocking up a lot of stuff. So let's play with that opacity. You got to make it really light. Okay. So, not too bad. There's a lot of stuff going on, but you can see how his leg is showing through here. So what I could do is I can erase his leg in the back, making sure I'm on the right layer. See right here, layer 3. I can go in and erase it so you can see that shoe again. Pretty cool. So it's not really taking away from what's going on. I'm going to make that a hard line. See what I mean? So now there's really nothing blocking how that shoe looks, but there's Air Jordan flying through the air. That's what everybody remembers. I was fortunate enough to be young enough to watch his games when he was playing, and I'll tell you, it was something to see. So here you go. I got cool Michael Jordan in the background. All right, we're gonna get rid of that. We'll bump on. Here's the Air Jordan logo. I'm going to select it. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it here. Okay. We got this awesome empty space up here. Let's put it up there. So now I'm going to go and do a color change on it. With hue and saturation, I can hit colorize, and I can go like this, and just do the red. Or I could go all the way red like that. There you go. So now here's something cool I can do too. I said it's the 35th anniversary, right? So I can actually just go in and type 35. Okay. And then put that right in the front. Okay. It's a little bit, maybe I'll just put it below. So now I have kind of this idea going on. It's like, okay, I got Michael Jordan, I got the shoes. I'm gonna move this down a little bit, make some more. Whoop, can't do that anymore actually. So I have my poster here, and we could come up with a cool saying. So it's 35 years, and Nike has their saying, "Just do it." So we could do just doing it for 35 years. Whoop. So, just a basic idea, but everybody knows what the just doing it thing is. We don't want to cover his face or anything like that. Probably we want to put it right down here. Actually, why not put it up here? This is the beauty of it. Once you start laying out that poster, you can start to move things around. So I could take this here. I have empty spot right there. That looks pretty good. We can spread this out. Now, I don't want to keep just this font, but when you make a poster, you don't want to do like 3 or 4 different type styles. You never really want to stick with more than you don't want to have more than a couple. So let's say I like this font. It looks really cool. that kind of looks like a throwback type of font, right? So why not keep that? It's like cool, it's like funky. So we could do that. It's legible. I can read it. I like it. And it fits really well into the poster. And then I would say probably last but not least, let's go find that Nike logo right here. And I will find somewhere to put that. Copy that. Paste it in. So we could even just put it right here. Not a huge, it's always hard to kind of find out where you're going to put stuff. You know, it's trying to find this kind of happy medium of where things should go, but that's okay. So maybe we can put this here. It's more about the whole Air Jordan. Whoops. Let's see here. Maybe I'll switch that out again. Let's go move this. So that's what I like. I love it when I'm done my project and I'm at the end and I can just do this now and just start moving stuff around and just see how it looks. Okay, I kind of like how it overlaps the shoe. And then now we could take this Nike logo and put it up here like that. And then we can write, take these again. We'll take these. Take that and bump it down some more. I think I like that there. I think a little bit bigger. Okay, so now I have this empty space here. So why not do something different here and say only at Foot Locker. Foot Locker is a cool a cool shoe store. And you want to be able to make sure maybe that, you know, a lot of times shoes, they make agreements at different places. So maybe we'll go red with that too. Okay. And maybe we could find a shape, right? Let's see. Boom. Graphic. So I could find something like this. You know, hey, I have like a pow and the boom. I'm just looking for that empty shape right here. So why not take, tell you what, maybe we'll take this one. Okay, I'm going to take this, bring it into Photoshop, copy that. And then drag that over. Okay, so, you know, obviously you got a little messing around to do. So now I've even changed my mind one more time. It's actually crazy. You'd be surprised how many times you know, change your mind throughout the course of a project to get it just the way that you want it. And that's normal, you know, you don't just kind of leave it once. So I'm not digging the color scheme yet, but I'm more just concerned about positioning at this point. So I'm going to move this up here. Because I actually think I have a little bit more room over here. So I'll tell you what too, I am not keeping everything on here. It's just a lot going on. Whoops. So I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff just because I just feel like it's taken away too much. So get rid of that with my eraser tool. And now I have this cool, you know, graphic here. Okay. So once again, I talked about changing the color in here. So check it out. I have so let's just change this color to that red, right? Okay, so now you're like, oh no, where'd the font go? Still here. Okay. So I'm going to go in and just change that to black. Okay. So once again, it's not 100% perfect, but it follows the color scheme, and everything kind of looks good. I lost my Nike logo. It's kind of funny. Oh no, I didn't. So then I can take this and once again, I changed my mind. I like that there. What do you guys think there? Yes, no? I think that works better there. I don't like this black though. So let's change that to white. See what we think. Boom. Okay, so I would probably spend a little bit more time playing around with this, trying different type styles. Maybe I would even grab some more of the photos that I took. I do have extra photos. And then maybe I would do some different layouts because like I said, they're paying me a lot of money. Maybe I could incorporate these shoes or that angle, or I could, include the Air Jordan logo. So this is just a pretty decent concept, but there's nothing wrong with making a couple of different posters. Okay. So you could come up with a couple of different ideas to give to your client. Everybody loves variety. But as you can see, what I had done with that poster, you just need the product name, a really catchy slogan, and why they should buy it, where they could find it, and why you're making this post. Okay. So that's kind of what I had for today. You really need to have these done.